Hi, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we have the Generation 5 of the Rokit 5s. We have the 7 and the 8s. The 5s are the smaller ones they have in the lineup. So we have the very known yellow cone. It's a 5-inch, then a 1-inch tweeter, and the KRK illuminated logo. I am glad it has a setting for 2 levels of brightness. I have it on the lowest brightness now, and it starts flashing slowly when it's idle, so you don't really need to turn the speakers off. They just go idle if there's no sound for a certain period of time. So let's get to the back panel of the new Rokit 5 Generation 5. Power cable, power on off, balanced input, no unbalanced input, just balanced, and a scroll wheel with a screen. If you scroll the wheel to the left or to the right, you change the actual volume of the speaker. One good thing is that you can change the volume in 0.1 decibel increments. So it's really good if you want to fine-tune it in any specific situation. If you press it in, you have 3 options: EQ, setup, and back. So if you go to the EQ and press in, you have 3 EQ modes. If you press in again, you can select Mix, Focus, or Create. Create is a V-shaped EQ which takes away mids and adds lows and high-end. This creates a more hyped sound if you need to, or if you want a more hyped sound while you create or while you listen to music. Then you press again and you go into Mix mode. So Mix is actually the flattest setting possible. It tries to become as flat as it can, so you can actually know what's going on in the mix. And then you have Focus mode, which actually takes away lows and highs and just focus on the mid-range. So I will leave this on Create because that's what I'm using right now, just to listen to music. And then if you go down, so just scroll the wheel, you can select 5 different shelves for low end. So for example, I can add a lot of low end or take away a lot of it with the different curves and everything. And you have the option for the high end as well, which is actually very good for a monitor in this price point. Now going back, you can go to the setup. You have backlight, so it's basically the backlight of the screen, this back screen. Then you also have the contrast. As you know, this is just a 2-color screen, so you can actually mess with the contrast. You have the standby on or off, so the auto standby, you can turn it off if you don't like it. And for the logo, you have the option to have it on, have it dimmed, as I have now, or have it completely off. I leave it on dim. Then you have factory reset, lock the settings, so basically you can't really mess with anything, or go back. So this is the back part of the speaker. I know it can look like a bit of a gimmick, but it has some interesting functions and it's very easy to use. Now, another thing that I found really interesting is that the speakers bring a second faceplate in the box, and this second faceplate actually has a protective grille on both the woofer and the tweeter. To change them, it's actually really simple because this is held by magnets. You have to do just a little bit of force right here at the bottom. Then you just pull it and you just pop in the new one like so. That's it. And now you have a well-protected speaker. There are some cases where people might need this type of protection, and it's really nice that they add this for free. So let's talk about the sound signature on these monitors. I am genuinely surprised by what KRK is offering these days for such a low price. And why is that? Because, as you probably know, older KRK Rokits were just not flat enough for mixing. I never quite liked them because they were just a bit too hyped in the lows, almost no mid-range. It was just a bit of a mess for me to be able to mix on them. However, with this new generation, I can see that they're trying to move in the other direction. Even though we have all the EQ settings and stuff, on the flat setting, these are actually a much flatter monitor than the older ones, to the point that they are sometimes uninspiring to work on, which is a good thing because you can actually mix properly on them and not having to rely on other systems. If you want just a bit more hype, you can change the EQ on the back and that's it. So overall, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by what KRK is offering at this price point. However, if you're someone that listens to or produces a lot of music with more low end, I highly recommend you go for at least the Rokit 7s. Unless you really need a 5-inch for the space, I wouldn't go with these ones just because of the low end. It is just a bit too weak for most things. For electronic music like drum and bass, house music, there just isn't enough punch or extension. But I mean, there's no other 5-inch monitors that have much more bass than this one. So it's not a matter of the speaker, it's actually the physics of a 5-inch cone. So all in all, I would go for the Rokit 7. I can imagine it's just a more pleasant surprise and a better price to performance ratio on most situations. You also have the 8-inch if you want really strong low end, but I think the 7s are usually the sweet spot, especially for most bedroom studios. So for a monitor that has a proper frequency response, that's packed with new technology at this price point, this will get a solid recommendation from me. It's a good starter monitor. It's also a good second reference if you already have more expensive, bigger monitors. It's actually good to have another idea on how your song would behave on smaller speakers like this one. So this could also be an option for a second pair of monitors. And I really can't fault them at this price, to be honest. In the past, I would probably recommend other speakers from other brands in this price point, but not today. Today I can safely recommend the KRK Rokits. They are moving in the right direction, and it's just good to see how much more we can accomplish with budget monitors these days, because a few years ago, to get this level of sound presentation, you would need to spend 3 to 4 times the price. And yeah, now you can get like proper good monitors that you can work on for very low prices like this one. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, I'm here to help. Just leave a comment down below. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're still not subscribed. We are still very few, but trying to grow the channel, especially now covering a lot of different ranges of pro audio gear. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.